I don't get my information from Russia. Russia gets their information from me. And I'm not bragging. It's a fact. They love Americana. They want to be free. They understand we sent the Bolsheviks over there. It isn't that they actually follow everything I say. They just already know what I'm saying is true. And it causes basically a affirmation to happen and for people to have solidarity. Ladies and gentlemen, we're back live. And Adon Salazar, I was just refreshing Infowars.com, and I noticed Adon Salazar's article, and right as I was reading it, he walks in and he goes, "Boss, you missed the whole point in your Matt Drudge rant last hour." So I guess I've got to amend it, because I was only clicking on the top link that was a link to Media Matters, making the joke that Media Matters, run by George Soros and David Brock, says that if Matt Drudge ever links to any Russian news, he works for the Russians. But then I didn't even notice that the links under it are links to Interfax, iTarTASS, and Pravda, which, again, are connected very, very closely to the Russian news agency. You can go ahead and scroll down. There it is right there. Or just go right to drudgereport.com, and I can show TV viewers what I'm talking about that way. But that's the craziness of them trying to tell him, we want criminal investigations of you, which is what the Democrats have called for, because you link to Russia. I mean, are we in a free country or not? And quite frankly, a lot of the stuff I link to out of RT is leftist. I don't like it. Because everybody wants to prove to the globalists they're nice, and it's all this pro-government reporting a lot of times, like trying to... I know for a fact behind the scenes they've threatened to pull the RT license and threatened RT years ago not to have me on. RT doesn't have that big an audience in the U.S. Most of the time I won't even go on with RT. Or British television. I refuse BBC all the time. Japanese, Iranian television. I just don't have time to do it. They had me doing it every day. But I don't work for the Brazilians. I don't work for the Japanese. I don't work for the Russians. But I tell you this, I'm not a guy that pulls stunts, but I do want to see Israel. And I do want to see Russia. And I think I'm going to plan a trip very, very soon, a 2-week trip, where I'm going to go for a week to Israel, because everybody says I work for Israel, when I've been very, very fair on both sides of the issue. And they also say I work for Russia, and it's a canard. But I guess losers out there can't believe somebody else is successful on their own. Well, our audience knows that. And that's why we are successful. They support us. They spread the word. They see through the propaganda. But, man, I tell you, it is insulting to hear that we get our money or our information from the Russians. Hillary finally started getting this right the last few months. She stopped saying that we get it from the Russians. Now she says they get it from me. And now you're telling the truth, lady. And I'm not bragging, but let's get down to brass tacks. The entire America reboot was our audience and our guest and the InfoWars operation promoting Americana and comparing it to globalism and saying, which do you want? That's the big choice. I've been hammering that for 20 years. I didn't invent Americana. I just said, man, it's a lot sexier. 57 Chevys in Marilyn Monroe and freedom and religious freedom and travel wherever you want and have low taxes and just prosperity, baby. That's a lot better than collectivism. So we rebooted Americana. And you did it as an audience. That's why I'm hated, because they know it's you. And we're just a focal point here in InfoWars. But we really should celebrate the fact that, yes, all over the world, from Japan to Russia, to Europe, to the UK, to Mexico, to Brazil, to South Africa, all over the world, they're huge listeners of InfoWars. Max Kaiser, working for RT, also for Al Jazeera. Doesn't mean he works for the Arabs either. And he's worked for the BBC. He's been all over the world, from Asia to Latin America to the Middle East. And he says they all run over. The number one thing is we love Alex Jones. We want to meet Alex Jones. We love Alex Jones. I even have Muslims in shopping malls come over and shake my hand. And I realize most Muslims actually don't want to be under orthodox, suppressive Wahhabism. They actually want to come here and not be bullied. And they're not all bad. But the religious ones that actually believe it, they're dangerous. That believe they got to take over and dominate. And I used to try the whole carrot approach with Islam. Everybody knows that. I used to get accused of working for Muslims. Remember all that 10 years ago? Because I didn't want to blow up the whole Middle East. I knew it was part of a clash of civilizations. I read the white papers where it was meant to actually kick out the non-radicals, put the radicals in, and then flood Europe. I wanted to stop the globalist program. So again, I don't get my information from Russia. Russia gets their information from me. And I'm not bragging. It's a fact. They love Americana. They want to be free. They understand we sent the Bolsheviks over there. It isn't that they actually follow everything I say. They just already know what I'm saying is true. And it causes basically a affirmation to happen and for people to have solidarity. But, I mean, we've had top Putin advisors on talking about how InfoWars has changed Russia. InfoWars has changed their view. InfoWars has helped give them the big picture. They've helped give us the big picture. And all of us together, the UK, Nigel Farage has said on this show 3 times that UKIP exploded after InfoWars went into the UK. It's a fact. We're winning the war because of you, the listeners.
In ancient times, man roamed the earth in a constant state of hunting or being hunted. Introducing Caveman, where cutting-edge science meets ancient super nutrients. Secure your bottle right now at InfoWarsStore.com.